Hello, I'm here.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Burak.
Hi,
So
how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for being here. Just a quick introduction. I'm Sima Newell. I'm the CEO interviewer for Coach Magazine Global. And I have with me today the pleasure of having Burak with me. Burak Deniz from Azerbaijan. Got it correct?
Right.
and and you have this incredibly illustrious career. So I thought to give a very quick intro, and then you can, fill anything in, and then we can get into the questions of the interview. So that sounds good?
Yes, that sounds good.
Very
First
good.
of all, it's my pleasure, and thanks for inviting for this kind of good interview. And this is Burak Deniz. I'm Turkish.
Mhm.
Uh, I have been working in professional life almost 25 years. I started my career journey in Unilever. Nearly 16 years I worked there. My background was mainly the sales. This 6 years of this last 16 years of Unilever, I was in the country management by working in different regions, North Africa, Middle East. Then I moved in one European company as a CEO again. I was also responsible for Turkey, Middle East, North Africa. And I worked in one of the biggest group of Turkey in Yıldız Holding, 3 years nearly. Then I moved to Azerbaijan as a new journey. I have been here as a group CEO last 1 year.
That's amazing. I mean, what a career. And I think all of that experience in sales and then moving up to be a CEO.
Yeah, that's right.
And perhaps one very important step that I'd really love to cover is how you got so involved in coaching. Because you've covered all the career steps, and yet we had a pre-call to prepare, and your involvement with coaching, it's just incredible. So if you'd be willing to share some of that, it would be so wonderful.
It's in fact one of the key critical question also in my professional life. Uh, you said that is a good career journey. Thanks, first of all. Why I thought to myself, and I was also speaking with some professional HR people, and I noticed that I was successful as per my journey because I was very much human oriented. If you are human oriented somehow, and one time you will definitely meet with coaching because it's also very human oriented. So
Yes.
when I was looking for improving opportunities myself, and I came to know that there is a coaching training. In fact, I got roughly, let me say, 35 to 40 very good professional trainings. And I would
Incredible.
say there were two unforgettable and very much useful, one of the best two trainings. And one of them was the coaching. Second was project management, which was very useful in terms of practice and also for success. But the first one was coaching. Because in the end, although the technology is getting developed, artificial intelligence is getting bigger, but in the end, you are making your business and all interactions are turning around the people. So if you really understand the people in a right manner, if you really get good communication with them, if you understand what are the critical things behind of their stress, and I think it gives the let me say the key of the success in your career.
Can you give an example, I mean, of how you use that in your day-to-day? I mean, you're the CEO of a big group. And so how would you use that experience, that coaching experience specifically?
In fact, it's a very good question. Also, there is very specific example which will clearly explain how my approach has changed before coaching and then after coaching. And before coaching, I was having many directors, of course, the department leaders and etc. When I saw the results of the month or quarter, and when we were having a one-to-one meeting or the group meetings, I was always addressing that, see yourself, you couldn't achieve your target, you got just 85% of it. So I think one of the mistake that you made this, and you need to make that, you need to make this, and etc. etc. But after the coaching, I was just started dancing with the questions, dancing with
Oh,
the right
wow.
question. Yes. Then I started to say, how do you see your numbers? How do you see yourself among your colleagues? And what was the mistake that you shouldn't repeat again? What is the currently required action that you are going to take? And what would be the first step that you are going to take? Is there any obstacle which will stop you? And how do you overcome, how do you achieve this obstacle? And now after this meeting, what would be the first action? And repeating questions and etc., which allowed me to turn from manager to the real leader. Because I noticed that people are hating getting dictation,
Yeah.
getting direction. People are always loving finding their own solutions and to own them. But as a leader, you need to illuminate the right solutions, to find them the right solutions. You need to enable them to find the right answers. And you just need to triggerize them to move forward towards action by these answers, by this, let's say, their ideas. So and then you need to follow them. And day by day also, during the business journey, they started to come and knock the door and they said, and I had a solution of B, and but you have this kind of struggle. What do you think? I would say I'm asking you, what would be the best ideal solution according to you? If it fails, what is your plan B? And how do you see this answer or solution which will enable companies to be more successful and etc. And I noticed that their respect level has also increased
Wow.
because yeah, because
Sure. Yeah.
they started to see uh, not a leader who is judging, who is mirroring the results and mistakes and etc. They started to see a leader who is helping them to find the right way. So then the relationship even started to become more quality with your people.
And could I ask, what do you do with your own opinion? Like if you sort of see we need to go here, or you've set a vision, we need to achieve this, how do you, how and when would you bring that out in that kind of a context?
I was sometimes, yes, sometimes I was attempting to move into the mentoring because if I knew the clear result, if I knew the
Right.
absolute answer, and I was trying to keep myself as a patient, not to give the answer and etc. But I was asking more question. Is there any another option, do you think? And
Okay.
could you please go and research and please speak with your colleagues and look at some best practices from the market, from other companies, and
Right.
try to find more solutions. And I think there is better solutions that I strongly believe in that you can find other options and etc. If I notice that there is really better answers or the ways, I was trying to ask more solutions and more
Okay.
questions, or I was trying to urge them to go and research and make a more speech with their colleagues and to come back for the best options.
Oh, that's really good. And then when you have a team, you're in a way you're asking each individual to tap into their knowledge and their intuition in effect, right? And their
Yes,
experience and their
yes,
research.
that's
And when you have different people with different experiences and different intuitions in your team, how do you bring them out in a coaching methodology like that? How do you bring it out within the team and the group?
sometimes. In fact, what I also noticed that uh, sometimes from cross department, from if you are a group company, from group companies, from
Right.
different people, if you let them engaged for
Yes.
coaching, and it is giving even better results Because sometimes if they are
Okay.
in the same
Mhm.
group, in the same situation, even if they are team member, but if they clearly know the situation, sometimes they are trying to redirect or direct or trying to specify the problem. And that's what I noticed sometimes from cross departments where there is no relationship. They don't know really their problem. They don't know
Okay.
very well each other. Or from different companies in the same group is
Okay.
giving better results. To be very neutral, to stay in real, coach line, let me say.
And then when do you bring in, I mean, because you're going as a coaching leader, so you're supporting your team in effect and those other group leaders to lead and to bring out their best. When do you bring an external coach into the mix? When is that needed or not?
In fact, it is always needed. I strongly believe it is always needed. And there are two way of workings in my previous companies. What we did first, when I got coaching injection, let me say, magical injection, then I said all of my directors and the senior key players should definitely get the same trainings. But at the same time, I was thinking that it's requiring some change management because you are working also, although they are directors or senior managers, they have very good experience. And you need to go them and tell them that I found something which is magical and it will be very useful in your professional life. They will of course think that what would be or what kind of
Yeah.
effect it can make in my professional life. I'm already experienced person and etc. That's what it is requiring change management. What we did was, which was useful, initially for our top management we got external coach and
Right.
we defined the subjects, what would be the best coaching subject for them and for individually, because from 360 degrees surveys was also giving some tips, and
Right.
also the leader's leader was telling something, also some other colleagues who is working with the specific person was also highlighting that this person requires coaching for this manner, for this matter.
Right.
So that's what, once we select the subject, the right subject, we were uh, we were defining a couple of coach options. They were having some sessions whenever they really felt this is the right person for me, and they were selecting their coaching and they were starting. At the same time, we started for coaching programs and we started to teach them what is coaching and how do you use in your professional life,
Wow.
in your, yes, it
Mm.
was it was together because what they saw, once they started to get coaching sessions, one-to-one sessions with professionals, they realized that it is really useful. But at the same time, they started for trainings for professional journey. It's let me say it neutralized all the negative questions because they
Really?
already
Yeah.
experienced, yes. And later on in the third stage, once they complete their coaching trainings, we started to assign internal company coaches. So whoever there is some issue or wherever there is a need, so the related assigned people were having coaching with the other team members of the companies.
So you got coaching for the leadership team, and then you got coaching training effectively for the leadership
Exactly.
team. And then you
Exactly.
have a roster of coaches available when there's something to work out, aside from your own question asking that
Absolutely. Absolutely.
paradigm, really.
Because initially also before, first of all, you need to really teach them what is coaching. It is taking time because even I got roughly 100 hours and three different sessions, 5 days each program. It took time me to digest because you are
Yes.
realizing many things.
Yes.
You are understanding yourself. You are understanding the methodologies which is used in the coachings. So it was, it would be really difficult directly to let them start in the training, or
Mm.
else even if you have some coach in the group, it would be, I believe, wouldn't be as effective as finding somebody outside of the company,
Right.
because you are assigning, you are saying that this is
Yes.
professional person from out of company who
Yes.
purposely came to coach you, to give you a one-to-one session, which creates more trust between this person and the professional person. But you can harmonize it at the same time, starting with professional coaching sessions, starting also to give them the journey of education of coaching. It is good harmonization, and which make people them very much believe into the coaching.
Right. And results. Like what was the business results that you saw of taking this pretty
Whoever,
intense and unique approach, right?
yes, whoever got the training, the first of all, uh, whoever got the one-to-one session in a professional coaching, they got shocked, in fact,
Mm,
and they a bit, they a bit, they said it's a kind of similar of going psychologists,
yes, it
and to
is.
having psychologist session. They said they have never spoken in a very good, in relaxed mode. They have never got addressed into the right questions, and by getting guided to find the really, really the right answers. They have never forced themselves to find different options, and they a bit, they said it's a kind of one-to-one and psychologist session, which made them very relaxed and very, very, let me say, thinking on to the point on the solutions,
Yes.
and made them also a bit calm in their daily business routine, because they realize that sometimes, rather than arguing, rather than fighting, and in a calm manner, in a calm situation, and speaking slowly and
Yes.
qualitily, so they can find some solutions, so which made them very calm, very result oriented, and it motivated them to be more cooperative in their colleagues and overall company. It created atmosphere and a
Imagine.
culture to be more cooperative and
Wow.
communicative. And also, the coaching is not also for only coaching. It gives them also, it creates them platform to give them relaxed feedback for their colleagues.
Right.
Some of them, I noticed that some of them were hesitating to give easily feedback and feed forward, let's say. Now it made them also in a relax to take and give feedback and feed forward.
Wow, what a difference. And I mean, because I work with a lot of leaders and a lot of executives, and one of the things that I see every day is at that senior level, you're not fitting a box. Like you're not, I need to find, you can hire computers to do this, but I need somebody that fits this profile that does this job and checks the boxes. You're hiring the person for the person, right? For who they are, for their vision, for where they personally are going to take it. So the link between the corporate persona and the personal persona of each individual is so important. So as you're saying, that emotional relaxation and that feeling of being able to open up allows those two to come together, and then you will get so much better results. Like that's what
Absolutely.
I've seen. I'd be curious your
Absolutely.
thoughts on that.
There was one more thing, in fact,
Mm.
uh, even if we had professional coaches in the group, in the companies, and etc., rather than assigning this in the internal coach, finding somebody out of the company gave them more trust to
Yeah.
speak
Okay.
relaxedly, because this person is coming from outside. He
Yes.
had never had any kind of, uh, let's say, pure information about company politics,
Yeah.
company relations, uh, different fights and the career fights between different people. It's purely neutral.
Yeah.
And he or she came only dedicatedly for you in order for you to speak relaxedly and getting the right questions and trying to find your best ways and the choices and solutions. It made them more relaxed, in fact. And
Mm.
secondly, and it created, let me say, loyalty in the company,
Oh wow.
because yes, they thought that company cares me, company hires somebody specifically for me, they
Yes.
assigned for me. That means that company cares me, company cares my involving my evaluation, and they are trying to help me professionally, uh, for me to better. So they
That's,
gave them it gave them very good also feeling about the company, and it increased their loyalty towards company.
and how far down the ranks do you then engage coaching in the company?
So we started from management team, and top to bottom, as much as possible, we went down.
Wow. Wow. That must be a fun place to work then.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
And
Even
that's,
in our company at that time, we got a award as a great place to work award.
oh wow. Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
and all the research shows that that leads to the top 10% of business results, right? Like the top 10% of organizations have that very human approach and create that psychological safety where people feel safer to speak up than to stay silent. And you need to have that um calm approach and that openness to questioning and being questioned in a supportive way to allow that to even happen, and that absolutely will drive better outcomes. Like all the research shows that, especially in today's world, which is so complicated, so connected, so that's amazing. Is there
Definitely.
anything else that you'd like to touch on or that you think is important for this
I
conversation?
totally agree with you, but also, as you rightly said, maybe on top of that, I would like to add,
Do
all of your leaders should be role model
yeah,
and for
very
everyone else in the company, because every leader has different department, and every department requires different objectives, different dynamics. And individually, if you have very good alignment about company values, company cultures, and
mhm,
if you create together on it, if you stick together on it, and if you create a reflection as a role model
yes.
onto all of your actions, decisions, and then there is a sustainable and stable culture. So that's what it is quite important,
Important.
to stick on the company values, the culture, but at the same time being a role model with full alignment on the leadership team.
Yes. That is, I mean, you're absolutely right. Because otherwise something's out of alignment and it won't work. Something will break somewhere if you're saying one thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then inconsistency,
That's a
one of
very
the bad thing of the company, of course, because wherever there is some breach, they will try to take out from this breach, or, it should be very consistent, very stable, and so that everybody should be on the same line, and they should have full alignment, so that the company can move forward in a better way, being more sustainable and successful. And
yes.
the coaching is one of the key critical, let me say, helper And because we are human as I said at the beginning, as long as the companies are managed by human, and in human reality requires more understanding, more senses, more emotions. And you need to deep dive into this kind of emotions. You need to open the curtains. You need to see what is behind. And you need to communicate in a very good, because I believe that what I noticed during my university journey and at the beginning of my professional career, I had a people who I was hate, and
Mm,
some of them I was really like. But I noticed that after some certain period, everybody is unique, everyone is unique, and
yes.
everyone has something to be liked.
Yes.
And but you need to just really, but everybody has some kind of case and the password on the case. You need to exactly, absolutely. You need
True.
to put right the
Password.
password, and
Yeah.
the passwords are the right communication. In the right communication, in the right password is asking the right questions and the right communications. Then I believe that once they open the case for you, and you will definitely find a real jewel in this
I
case.
love that. I love that. It's so true. I love that metaphor. I think I might steal it and use it. The case with the password, because it's so true. I have one more question. If you had to do it again, or if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, Burak, I'm thinking of implementing this in my company," what advice would you give? How would you go about it?
Uh, in fact, I would go for some kind of new coaches, to be honest,
Mm,
because new coaches are more, what I noticed that they are more enthusiastic to try more, having more trials, to try
okay.
them and to make more practices. Because some of, especially small companies, may not have budgets and
Mm,
to allocate big amounts in their
right,
organization. Some
right,
of them would have. Whoever has good budgets, they can allocate, let them go for professionals. But whoever has not big budgets, don't let them be upset. Don't let them give up.
right.
Let them go for new graduated coaches,
Okay.
whoever has completed their programs, whoever has willing to try more sessions and to have more methodologies on the people. Let them try to work with them, because they need to have more sessions, more people, more practice. And the companies and people has also this kind of the
Right.
coaches. Let them find themselves, let them work together, and let
Well,
them have
really-
cooperation.
that's lovely. There's definitely a world for that. Very
Yes, and
good.
so it
Yeah.
became like a win-win situation for both sides.
Mm-hmm. Good. And so is there anything else before we close that you'd like
And
to
I
add?
would definitely suggest
Oh,
all of at the beginning high level, but in the second
okay.
level or mid-level managers,
Yes.
directors, leaders,
Yes.
to be able to turn into the real leaders, let them definitely have coaching training.
It's
It's
brilliant.
required like a fundamental financial training.
It should be in
It's
every
required,
MBA program.
absolutely, it's required. It's like a fundamental, the sales or marketing program. Let them think that as long as I said, there is a human in their life, they should have been very successful in the human relations also. And the coaching, it's giving a semi psychologist training. I would always say that. So that's what, at the same time, in the second stage, let them create their coach in the company, cross-functionally, cross-departmentally. Let
Okay.
them have the coaching sessions. And the thirdly, and the mostly, let them definitely have professional coaches
Yes.
from outside of the company. And if they don't have big budgets, if they are small companies, as I said, let them start to work with new coaches. As long as their budget allows them, let them go for really professional coaches. And they will see that whatever they are going to spend, they will get more and more into the human, let's say, results, the company's results, and overall company's culture. It will be very helpful, and it will definitely enable them to be more successful.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. So if anybody wants to know more, what's the best way for somebody to connect with you or to get in touch with you if you're open to that?
Yes, I have LinkedIn profile,
Very good.
Burak Deniz, and they can always reach me from the LinkedIn account. And I think it's nowadays it's one of the most professional and easy communication channel. They can easily reach me from LinkedIn. I'm always trying to be, let's say, friendly and talkatively try to answer, and I'm always open for these communications.
That's just brilliant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what an amazing experience and contribution, Burak, that you've given. It's so inspiring. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, and thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.